Howdy YouTube, my name is Nathan and welcome to our homestead. I'd like to give you a brief explanation of what we've got going on here. Recently, we just bought this property here, it's about 40 acres roughly, and we're going to turn it into a homestead. We intend to fix up pastures, fix up the structures on the property. We've got a lot in store for this. It's going to take a while to do it, and we were wanting to document every step of the way. So this is video one of that process. It's going to take a while to get it all accomplished, but if you stick with us, I think that you'll find this pretty interesting. We've got a lot of big plans, so stick around and see what we got going. So to give you a brief explanation of this property, we bought it about 3 months ago, and when we purchased it, it actually had a home on the property which had burned. It was struck by lightning and it burned in the kitchen. Now the home is pretty well still intact, is mainly just the kitchen. We intend to gut and completely remodel the house. We've got to replace some rafters. It's pretty extensively damaged in the kitchen actually, but it's nothing that we can't handle. Of the 37 acres that's here, approximately 25 to 30 of it is pasture, and the rest being pretty hilly draws with some woods and a few ponds. Now, part of the problem out here, this property actually has 4 ponds, 3 of which seem to not hold water. So the goals for this property, at least at the moment, are we need to get water and power hooked up out here so we can bring our RV out here. We intend to stay in our RV while we fix this place up and make it our own. That's nothing new for us. We've been traveling on the road. I'm a welder. Been traveling on the road for almost 10 years. My wife and I have been married for 7, and been traveling together in the RV. So living in an RV is nothing new to us, but we're about ready to call that quits and settle down for a while. So first things first, we'll get that water and power hooked up, get the RV out here, and then we can start slowly working on the house. Now, I still work over the road for the time being, so it's not going to be an overnight process, and we intend to do most all of this ourselves. So it's kind of going to be one of those things where we take some vacation, come home, work on it for a couple of weeks, and then we're gone for a few months. Come back, work on it for a couple of weeks, gone for a few months. It is what it is, but eventually we'll have it done enough that, well, we can just come home. So currently the pasture, you can kind of see behind me, that's part of it. We have leased the pasture to the neighbor. They actually leased it from the folks who owned it before us, and we're just kind of letting them continue on. The agreement is they're going to maintain the fencing, which is nice because we'd like to put our own animals out here. If they maintain the fencing, that's one less thing that we have to worry about. Once we get the RV out here, we'll start working on the house, and once that gets taken care of and most of the way put together, then we'll start on other things. One thing that's on my agenda while we're here over the next couple of weeks is I'm going to meet with the local ag extension office. They're coming out on Monday, so here in just a few days. Today is Friday actually. They're going to walk the property with us. Now, I'm not originally from here. I'm from a couple of states over, and I'm not really familiar with the native species and what grows best in this climate. So he's going to come meet with me, and we're going to walk the property and discuss my goals for the property, and he's going to help me decide what grasses that we should plant. I'm also going to do soil samples and send them off to get tested so we can have fertilizer spread, start amending the soil a little bit. When we bought this property, it had just been abandoned essentially The people that owned it before us really didn't do anything with it. They owned it for 5 years, and I don't even think they bush hogged it a single time. It was very grown up. A lot of weeds. There's a lot of weeds in the pasture. A lot to do here. So anyway, so we'll take you around and kind of show you what's going on here, kind of give you a lay of the land and explain a little bit more of the situation to you. So here's the house from the road. You can see the front yard's really grown up pretty bad. Right here you can see the water company has came in, trenched a line, then ran it up onto the ground right here and stopped. That's because the neighbor way back there didn't have water. Their main was down here in our yard, and they just had a pipe running across the ground all the way back there to their house. You can't see it, but so when we bought this place, the county came out and actually trenched a water line in all the way back there to the other side. If you can imagine a mile square, right? Well, we're right here. There's a water line, a water main right here, but then it stops at our house, which would be about right here. And then there was no water main through here. All the way to the other end of the mile square, that's where the other water main was. So they trenched a main in from there all the way to here, and they just haven't connected it yet. They're going to. That way then the neighbor can have their own meter down there instead of in our yard. But we got to come out here and we got to cut up all these trees that are back here up against the house, clean all this junk out of here, get all that taken care of. And then around here on the back side, see there's a bunch of trees all grown up here. It's an old junk car back here that was left by the previous owner. There's a storm cellar there in the ground, and then a bunch more trees and stuff. They're all grown up in the yard back there. The whole place is already fenced in. Now, I'm not exactly entirely confident in the integrity of the fence, but that's kind of the least of my worries at this point in time. The neighbor obviously confident in it because they have already turned their horses loose out here, so they must be fairly confident in it. As you can see, all this area out here, it's all already been mowed. I brush hogged it a few weeks ago. We were here, didn't get to all this yet over here, but anyway, I think I'll throw the drone up, see if I can't get some pictures and video of the rest of the property. Like I said, it's 37 acres, about 25 to 30 of it is all pasture land, and then there's a few ponds. They don't really do so well at holding water. We're gonna have to have somebody that knows a little bit about ponds come out and take a look at that and see what they can get figured out. Lots of mature pecan trees on the property. I guess that's a plus. Anyway, we'll throw the drone up and fly you around and let you take a look at it.